All right. Hello. Welcome. Scrappy, I didn't get to see the end of your race. How did it go? And to the people who joined from the live notifications, welcome. Welcome to the Trackmania Grand League
This guy Sigma is
pre-show. Trackmania Grand League is back.
Wirtual, hope you're having an amazing day today, Viet Smile.
And I'm back in the caster booth. I'm ready to use my voice to talk about cars going
This guy
fast.
Sigma is fucked, dude.
In a new season.
TMGL, let go.
Yeah, let's go. It's half an hour until the Challenger Division, and then it's 2.5 hours until the Grand League Division. So it's gonna be great. I mean, 2 big matches that are gonna be played, and we'll see how the players do.
This guy Sigma is fucked, dude.
Am I casting the Challenger? I was debating it,
Streams a lot. Thank you
but
for the
yes,
entertainment and
I
keep
will be
doing
casting
what
the
you do.
Challenger Division. I was like, should I? But I've been looking at the map rankings and like the times people are driving, and I think the Challenger Division we should have like a castle at. So I'm gonna cast it. Hot or cold coffee? This is hot coffee. Yo, Werwus, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Thank you so much. Very kind. So yeah, guys, welcome. Galama, thank you for the 2
This guy
months.
Sigma is fucked,
Saibi,
dude.
thank you for the prime. Scottish with the half a year. 16 months, not half a year. I'm blind. Mr. Trolley Molly with the 14 months. I'm having a great day. Leadom, thank you. Holy Aspargus, thank you. Weber, the Goron Man. I appreciate you guys.
Wirtual. I'm starting my real first job tomorrow. Waking up at 7 Viet Smile.
Yo, let's go. Congratulations. Getting a job is huge. My first job, I was cleaning bathrooms at the local clubhouse after they had played soccer matches. And I was so proud. I remember being just so insanely proud when I got that job. First job is huge. I wish you best of luck. Domi, thank you for the 7 months. Tycho, thank you for the 2 months.
This guy
Fast
Sigma
starts
is
with the prime. I
fucked,
appreciate
dude.
the prime. And boy, thank you for the 2 months as well. Word L. Looking good today. Can't wait to see how this TMGL ends.
This guy
There's
Sigma
so
is
much to go
fucked,
through.
dude.
I mean, yesterday, okay.
Looking good today. Can't wait to see how this TMGL end.
So let's get a show of hands. Trackmania has grown a lot since the last Trackmania Grand League season. Is there anyone in the audience that doesn't know how Trackmania Grand League works? Do you guys want me to run it down for you? Do you know how the format works? Because I know there's a lot of new people, and I really want to show you how cool Trackmania is when it's played at like the professional level. Because, you know, I talk a lot about the speedrunning of it. I
This
talk a
guy
lot
Sigma
about
is fucked,
track
dude.
records, but now we're gonna watch like
Hey,
live
New Year.
racing. We're gonna
Great
watch
stream, smile.
car versus car, and the one who reaches the finish line first wins. But there's 16 cars driving at the same time. It's very exciting. Okay, so let's talk about it. Maybe let's just go through the format first. I've prepared some slides to help me talk about this. First of all, the schedule. If you want to watch Trackmania Grand League, it's pretty simple. I just faded away. It's every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central European time. So in 2.5 hours, every Sunday for the next 8 weeks. You can see it here. That's when the matches will be played. Now there's also the Challenger Division, which is the division, you can think of it like second division of Trackmania Grand League. That starts in half an hour, so 6 p.m. All right? Format right here. A lot to look at, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can. Every single step is like a full match. It has 5 tracks that are played. The first 4 maps, they play 6 laps, and they gather points. So if you get first place, you can see rank 1 gets 25 points, second gets 22, third gets 20, and so on. You get points based on your position, and you want to earn as many points as possible. Then you go into the last map, where you play a 2-lap format, and here, if you win a round, you can multiply those points you earned. So let's just take an example. Let's say you earned 100 points in the first 4 maps. Well, if you win the first round, you could get a 2x multiplier. But if you win the 5th round, you could get a 3x. You get 300 points. Or if you win the 8th round, you can get 5 times multiplier, 500 points. The thing is, though, if you don't win any of these first 8 rounds, you don't get to multiply your points. So it becomes like a strategy game. Like, do I go for the 5 times multiplier and risk not getting anything at all? Or do I just save and try to get a 2x? Do you see what I mean? Like, you can try to get out early, or you can try to wait for your time and get a late but better multiplier. So there's 16 players. Half the field get no multiplier at all, every time. And yeah, that's going to go through 8 steps in total, 8 matches in total. And the top 8 players out of these 8 matches will move on to the playoffs. Now, you might be wondering who the players are. They are... I can see if I can... we don't have player cards this season, so I'm just going to use my tier list for now, for lack of a better presentation. Hi, I'm back. This is my prediction for the season, for the Grand League, where we have... I put Carl Jr. as the winner. I think he might win. I have Gwen and Pack as the top 3 contenders. I have Uffy, Kappa, Mudda, Papu, and Spam that I think are the most likely to make playoffs. So these 8 is how I see getting playoffs. I could be completely wrong. And then you have the make or break, which is like, these are players that are really, really good, but they lack a little bit of consistency for me in certain spots. And then we have the underdogs, players that I think can do well, and if they do, it's a great story. Like Binks, first season in the Grand League, Worker, first season in the Grand League, therefore some expectations there. Tween we haven't seen too much of, but he has been able to consistently stay in the league, and that's why I put those there. But yeah, it's super stacked. Like, all these players are really, 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 really good at Trackmania. And then we also have the Challenger Division, which I'll see if I have a thing for. I don't know. I think they made one. But yeah, welcome. It starts in half an hour, the first match, guys. Just joined. Challenger, is it here? I thought there was an asset. No. Maybe there's here? Just gonna scroll this and see if I find something. Give me a second. We're close. Are we? I swear I've seen this asset. Ayona! Thank you. Thank you. I think he has it. There we go. Oh, it's beautiful. Alright, this is so much better. This is the Challenger League. We have Cap, Link, Energize, Revolution, Default, Mime, Otak, Snow. We have Avon, Miquatro, Fegli, Solja, Hedra, Nixotica, Rossi, and Wosal. So these are all players that are really close to the top level. Cap, Link.
Really cool car for a first one. Congrats, Wirtual. Drive safe.
Thank you, VCub. I will make sure to do so. Thank you for the half-year resub. I was starting to say that Cap, Link, Revolution, Avon, Miquatro have all been in the Grand League. I might miss some players here, but there are players that have been in the Grand League in the past, and the others have been Challenger level. I was really impressed by Otak in World Cup. He went really far. Mime as well is a player to look out for. Really, really, really good. Almost made it to World Cup. Miquatro super solid. Rossi super solid. But we'll really see how they're going to stack up. Fegli I've never seen before, actually. So I think he's a superstar. Just risen up out of nowhere. Or he might have had a name change. Default? Yeah, Default's been around for a while as well.
Are you doing COD after this?
Yeah, I'll see. It depends. It might crash with the Grand League, so we might not be able to. Play the teaser from the website? Oh, the trailer? Okay. Oh my god. Does he actually have the winner sticker? That's so sick if he does. I haven't seen that before. This is a sick trailer, it really is. And it's made directly on the maps that they're going to be playing as well. Like the maps you saw in the background there, I actually want to show them to you. They are the Trackmania Grand League maps. Can see if I have them here. Do you guys want to just have a look? Because what we do have is we have like some onboards for each map. So there are 5 maps in total. Let's take a look, see what they look like. I'm gonna fade away and show you the first map. This is Airbridge. Now this map right here was actually played in the very first Trackmania Grand League season in 2018, 3 years ago. That season, I think Kappa won in the playoffs. Here we're watching Papu play it. It starts out with a lot of dirt and then some jumps, and then it goes very much so up and up, and then there's a big jump in the ending that is very hard to aim. Some jump shortcuts here, as you can see. Very difficult downhill drift here. And then there's a plastic turn. Here some players go very sharp, like Papu. Other players go higher for more speed. And then you transition down to the grass, get some speed wiggle here to stay in a slide on grass that's faster. There's a difficult uphill transition where you need to barely keep grip. Then a very sharp jump to the right. And we're coming to the big jump. This is the one where I think we might see some mistakes. Here you just have to aim for the frames above you and try to land all the way down there while setting up for the next slide here to go into the next lap. So this is one of the very first Trackmania Grand League maps ever made. And this is the first map that is played tonight. The second map that they're going to play is Eurosky, also a map from 2018 that they have repolished for the season. The cool thing about this map is that it is very NASCAR based. There's not a lot of drifting here. There's just long, fast turns where releasing is faster than sliding. So you're going to see very precise racing lines here to build up the most amount of speed through the corners. So here just small releases and then full send through the corners without any hesitation. If you hesitate, you will crash and hit the walls and burn and lose a lot of points. Cross the ice into more very precise corners. Here there's a small slalom that you have to dodge. And this is a very good time by Papu. Papu is one of the fastest players on this track in particular. And they will play 6 laps. Yeah, so 6 laps through these tracks. The identity, the main obstacle section on the tracks is an identity. And on this track, it is a downhill section here. You'll see it. Pretty difficult. You have to brake and go around these holes back and forth without falling through or making a mistake, like clipping the corners. Some more jumps, and then you go into the multi-lap and do it all again. That's the second map. The third map is Barrelistic by Banano. This is a brand new map, and this map is wild. Just look how it starts. You have a plastic wall hit into a quarter pipe, and chat's already spamming Pep Laugh because this is so difficult. You then have an absolutely insane wicked flip onto a magnet wall so you can stick the landing. You go into a wall ride here, jump out of the wall ride. Now you can see that big wall over there. Yeah, we're going up. onto the magnets again, and then onto a small grass turn. This is a map driven by Mutta, and here Mutta is one of the favorite players because it's very full speed based, and Mutta has his origins in full speed, so watch out for that later tonight. Reactor booster into a grass turn, and then very interestingly, there's this jump coming up here, where Mutta slows down to get an earlier landing on the dirt. Some players jump much further here and have less speed, and those things kind of balance out. One more flip here into a wall ride, and then you have to keep enough speed for this drop down, and then a freewheeling flip up onto this wall, which means that the car will now just roll slowly towards the finish line before you do it all again. 6 times in a row, keep in mind. 6 times in a row, and you have to do it without fail if you want a lot of points. Then you have On the Edge by Popwet. This is driven by Mussa. This is a very tense map here because you are driving so close to so many obstacles. The theme of this map is like going very much on the edge of the blocks. So you'll see a lot of drifts here where they're doing just that. And I mean, the players can choose themselves how much they want to risk, how much they want to carry speed through the corners. The first corner like that is just over here, where you drift around this hole here, and you can see just how small the space you have to work with this. It's very close to the limit, but the ending is even more precise than that. So I expect we will see some mistakes here, because I mean, all the players could drive this without crashing, but they're trying to beat each other, and that's when the mistakes happen, when you try to go too fast. Here you have a freewheeling into a no slide, so the players just cancel the slide very gently out of the turn. And then the ending, with more driving on the edge. Just look at the space they have to work with. It's so precise in each turn, and you can easily crash a pole or the hole. That is the first 4 maps, and then after that, you go to the last map, which is driven in 2 laps format instead of 6 laps. Here it's all about full send risking. This is Pole Party. And if you thought the previous map was precise, have a look at this, alright? This map in 2-lap format, where you're risking even more, is going to be a treat to watch. It's going to be super exciting, because it's so tight to drive. Like, even if you're trying to save this, you're gonna have a bad time. You kind of just have to full commit into every corner. So it starts out pretty gently here. These turns are pretty gentle. You have a drift around here, okay, and then you have this. Right, left, right, left, right, left. To go through the pillars there without crashing. That is the best line. All the players are gonna do that. But that's only one of those sections on the map. There's 2, in fact. There's one more in the ending that you have to do. So across 2 laps, you have to do this 4 times without failing. And the players have had time to practice this. They know that line. But like, just imagine you hesitate a little bit. You have no chance of surviving those corners. So uphill drift here into another turn. And then you have the last pole section, where the lines are more gentle. So it's a little left and then a little right. Still, so many obstacles to dodge. So many things that can go wrong that it's like... Whew, yeah, no, I think you're asking for trouble with these maps. And kind of the thing with Trackmania esports is that there's been a bit of an evolution where at some point the players kind of got too good in a way, where they would not make any mistakes or crash on normal racing tracks. And so the matches were kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but they were very predictable because there was just not enough variance that could happen. So now they've added a lot of obstacles and difficult parts to sort of, you know, reshuffle the deck a little bit to see like how the players can handle these challenges. And still, even after all the changes, we see players like Carl Jr. Clearly being the best. Carl Jr. is one of the best players, but others are getting closer to beating Carl Jr. So it's more exciting. It's spiced. It's spiced up. That's exactly what it is. Cassiel, thank you for the Prime. NKB, thank you for the 19 months. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you so much. Asherito, thank you for the 18 months as well. Long-time supporter, I appreciate it. Polar Beer, Whoop. Arc Blades, thank you. Daniel, thank you as well. When is it starting? So we have the Challenger Division, which you can think of it as the second division of Trackmania Grand League. It starts in 15 minutes. And then we have the first division with the 16 best players starts in 2 hours. So we're going to cover both. That's the plan. So yeah, I want to show you guys one more thing because I've had a little bit of a look at the rankings. And the cool thing is that on paper, the Challenger level players are not that far from the Grand League players. Let me show you. We can start with the rankings on the first map, which is Airbridge.
This guy Sigma is fucked, dude.
Made by Tona. Here,
More month.
the world record set 5 hours ago is actually by Mime, a Challenger player. The Grand League players have orange-ish names, but this is Mime with the world record 5 hours ago. 7:08:59 in a 6-lap format. So Mime is looking very solid on this first map. Also, I mentioned Papu is looking pretty great here. Kappa is looking great. Kappa was the guy who won on this map 3 years ago when he won the Grand League. And yeah, we can scroll a little bit further, but all the players have been practicing here. I expect we'll see like a winning time around, well, 7:08 to like 7:12. It depends on how much the players feel like risking. Then you have the second map, Euro Sky, where look at this. Papu with a 3-second world record. This number might be wrong because some players tend to hide their times. They practice, but they don't like practice publicly, so they don't post their times. But I watched this run from Papu, and it is so clean. Papu has like, it's like a dance, man. He's mastered this map on a new level. So yeah, 7:08 by Papu. This will be a very tough time to beat. This kind of is his go-to map, I think. Mime again showing up really strong here. Grenadi as well, who is brand new to the Grand League, is up there. But you know, the thing is like, I'm not seeing Gwen on this list. I'm not seeing Pack here. I'm not seeing...
This guy Sigma is
I don't
fucked,
think this
dude.
is Carl Jr.'s real personal best. So it's like, you know, keep that in mind. It might be closer than we actually think it is. Alright. Third map. Barrelistic. Here I talked about Mara being a clearer candidate, but Grenadi actually has some very solid lines as well in the Grand League. This is what I talked about with that one jump where Mara releases for speed. Grenadi is going full speed and they kind of balance out. It's exciting to watch. Then you have Evon looking very solid in Challenger. Gonna be interesting to follow. But again, some names are missing here. This is one of the most difficult maps still to drive consistently. Because like you could be this fast on paper, but you make one mistake here and you're not getting a lot of points. And then you have the fourth map.
This guy
on the
Sigma is
edge.
fucked, dude.
Here, Carl Jr. got a new world record 15 hours ago. 6:59. I watched the replay earlier and this is a great time by Carl Jr. Essentially flawless. Maybe he could go a little bit faster.
Easy clap.
Oh, I should beat them. I'm not even close. I'm not even close at this level. I'm alright at Trackmania, but compared to these guys, yeah, I'd probably be down here somewhere, plus 20 seconds on a map like this. Mime also 3 hours ago, getting ready for the match. It looks like playing. But yeah, this is a map where there aren't a lot of tricky parts, and so your time is decided by raw pace, and that's why you see these differences, like 5 players within 1 second, and perhaps even more with hidden practice times and whatnot. And then you have the last map, which is a 2-lap format, and oh, I was gonna say Carl Jr. has a great world record here, but look at this. Mime 1 hour ago, new world record. I didn't know this when I prepared for my cast. But yeah, Mime with a new world record an hour ago. That's a great time, really. Because he's beating some big names here. He's beating Carl Jr., Binks, Pack, Kappa, Masa, Scrappy, Papu, who are all looking very, very solid. By quite a lot, yeah. At this level, 0.2 is a solid time. Because what you have to think about is like, if you are 0.2 faster than everyone else, you can actually like save a little bit.
This
You
guy
can
Sigma
actually
is
save
fucked,
a
dude.
little bit. Because with the way the multiplier system works, if you could chill if your first few rounds and then start going if you know you're faster. So that's exciting. Is there anyone else who... Yeah, Spam started playing this 19 minutes ago. New personal best, alright. Spam's on the board. But then again, we don't know what practice times people are hiding. So yeah, that is the maps. Now, I also had
This
a
guy
look
Sigma
at
is
the...
fucked, dude.
This is a lot of numbers to look
Wow,
at. Don't
16 months.
get too scared.
Jeepers.
What I wanted to show you is these columns right here, all right? Wait, sorry. This is a lot of numbers. It's pretty dank. I just wanted to go to here and show you the final standings of the season. This was last year in the fall season, 1 year ago. Gwen won that season by almost 100 points. Keep in mind there were point loss system. It was a bit different system. But Gwen, Carl Jr., Pac, and Papu, Afi Spam, Morel, Kappa were the top 8 back then. They were really, really consistent, while always got into top 8 like you need to. And then in the winter season, which was the previous one, we have the standings. If I scroll all the way over
This guy Sigma is
here.
fucked, dude.
That season,
Go, Matt.
Carl Jr. won by almost 100 points. Pac as well, driving super solid, but he did suffer some point loss. You can see here. This season... Oh, this is a bit... I'm sorry, I'm making this more difficult. This season, if Pac hadn't lost points, he would have won it very clearly, demandingly. Carl Jr., Pac, Roll, Gwen, Afi, Bren, Marapu. So, these are the players that have sort of revolved around first. I made my prediction where I said Carl Jr. is going to win it. For World Cup, I was like, I'm going to go for Pac this time because I was pretty certain like Pac could take him. But no, I got Carl. This is my prediction. If you want to make one, I'll drop this in chat. This is the... that's a very scuffed link. That is the tier maker, where you can make your tier list. Looks like a scam link that you get in an email, but that's the tier list maker. Anyways, you can make your tier list. Who you think is gonna win? This is what I set up. How do you lose points? Oh, you don't anymore. I'll show you guys the system one more time when we get started. But yeah, this is about all the information I have. Are there any questions?
This guy Sigma is
I'm
fucked,
here.
dude.
My job today is to help you guys understand this and make it fun for you. How long does Grand League take? Each match is about 1 hour. There are 2 matches. So about 2 hours of gameplay that we're gonna watch.
Hey Wirtual, really looking forward to your cast today. Hope you drank enough contact lens acid solution to prepare your throat for the cast.
Nothing like nothing like some good contact lens solution to clear the throat. Yeah, you're right. When is it starting? In 5 minutes. Who am I casting? I'm casting everyone. This is like a global cast. I'm not casting one player. How do the multipliers work? I'll go through the system. How do magnets work? You just land on them and they keep you to the surface. Do you make a general cast? Yes, general cast. Is there a clear winner? Oh, it's gonna be close. Because you have to drive 6 laps, and if you make one mistake, well, you're gonna lose a lot of points. Carl Jr. is generally thought of as like the Trackmania greatest of all time. There's a high probability he might win. But Gwen is looking really strong. Pac is looking really strong. I think Mura's been looking great.
This guy
Gurnati as well with the
fucked,
times.
dude.
Massa might surprise. I don't know. But like, we'll have to see. It's live racing. Anything can happen. What does the red block do? I wish. It's a bit complex to explain. I wish I had time for it now. But I don't. Wish I had time to talk about it. But guys, I will now pause alerts so that when we go into the cast, there's no alerts popping. But thank you guys so much for the resubs. Effrontery, It Is Ricky, Aggravated Gamer, QDSC. Oh, it's a bit loud. A bit dank. Bergson, thank you as well. Connor, thank you. Rossi, thank you for the 3 months. Puinga, Sasquatch, I appreciate the primes and the resubs. Thank you guys. So let me get in here. All right. I always like this soundtrack when I'm casting. It gets me in the mood. You know, this is the casting soundtrack. Trackmania Valley OST. Sancho, thank you as well. So, 4 minutes until match start. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. We are here with the Trackmania Grand League Challenger Division Step 1 cast. Before the match begins, I want to take you through the format that the match is played in, because we have a new format this season, and it looks like this. So, this is the regular season. It's played in 8 steps, 1 match per weekend, 8 matches total. And every match, there's 5 maps played. The first 4 maps, you play regular 6-lap format, where you try to gather points. So if you finish first in a map, you would get 25 points. Second place, you would get 22. You can see how it distributes there, but you essentially just want to drive as fast as you can to the finish line and score points in the first 4 maps. In the final and 5th map, you play 2 laps instead of 6 laps. And you have to win 1 round against all the other players to try to multiply your points. If you win the first round, you get a 2 times multiplier. But as you see, the further you go, the better the multiplier gets. If you win the 5th round, you get a 3 times multiplier. And if you win the last round, you get an 5 times multiplier. But there are 16 players per match, and only 8 multipliers are handed out. So if you don't win any of the 8 rounds, well, you don't get any multiplier. And this can snowball really hard. Like, let's imagine you get 100 points in the first 4 maps. You play perfect. If you win the first round, you would get 200 points total. But if you wait and you manage to win the 8th and final round, you could get 500 points in that 1 step. So this is about strategy. This is about how much you dare to risk and wait for your final chance to clutch and get a better multiplier. That's how the format works. We have the map pack here. This is played on Airbridge, a map from 2018. Eurosky, also a map from 2018. And then 3 new maps. Barrelistic, a very trick-heavy map. And On the Edge, a very pace-heavy map. And that's what is going to go down. But the players are all on the server, and we are actually almost about to begin here. So I will get us onto the server for the match. Let's get into it. Here we go. All right. Looks like we're about to begin here. Once the map loads, there we go. We are on Airbridge with the Challenger Division. So a quick warm-up here on Airbridge before we get into it. Let's have a quick introduction of the players and what we know about them. We can start off here with Wosil from Game World Academy. Has been in the Trackmania scene for a few years now, around the top, hovering, but not quite making it there yet though. Is given a spot in the Challenger League to try to prove himself now. and show that he can take the big step up to the Grand League in the next season. Soldier, we saw at World Cup, very good when it comes to 2-lap formats and fast driving, but in these 6 laps formats, he needs a lot of consistency as well, and we haven't seen that quite yet out of Soldier, but pace-wise, he has what it takes to get to the top. Then we have Otak, who might be the youngest player in this field, at least one of them. When we did World Cup in the summer, he was only 16 years old, and is already one of the best Trackmania players after only playing it for 3 to 4 years. So a bit of a rising star, Otak, for Lille Academy. Then we have Link, who used to play for Grissi in the last season of Grand League, but got demoted to the Challenger League now and wants to claim back his spot. We know Link has what it takes, and I think he's very hungry to prove it. Snow is one of the best players that we've seen throughout in the Challenger divisions, but he's always had something go wrong. Like, sometimes he wasn't able to play a match and therefore lost a lot of points. And then Dofalt, another familiar face on the scene, but we can't really get through the list because we're already live into the match here on Airbridge. Map 1 out of 5 into the first lap we go, and Evon has made the first big mistake on that dirt landing. Fagley had to release a little bit, and we had one car flying onto the screen there. Who was that, I wonder? Was it Fagley who hit the fence? Either Fagley or Energized, both with huge mistakes back there. But the other players are off to a quick start. We saw Mime actually had the world record on this map before we went into it with a 7:08. So curious to see now if he can match that pace when it matters in the live round and try to collect those first 25 points for winning the map. Bit of an awkward jump here from Dolfalt's point of view. We'll drop down a little bit in the field, but so far no mistakes from him. He's only lost about 1 second. And now we jump in the identity. Are they all going to make the jump? Looks good for the top 10 at least. And going into the second lap here, it is definitely Mime who's gotten off to the best start, closely followed by Miquatro. These two players were very close in the World Cup, where they both fought for the same spots, but in the end, neither of them made it all the way. So we see Mime, Miquatro, Wosil. Has there been any big mistakes? We see Revolution getting a plus 3 second time there. Not what he was looking for to start this one out. Rossi dropping a little bit as well. But it is a very close field, at least until the top 11, top 12 as of right now. But still a lot of driving to be done. They have only completed 1.5 laps here out of the 6, so nothing is decided yet. So let's see now. This jump here, you need a lot of speed and a good angle to land on the flat part. Miquatro landing on the tilted part and drops down a lot of positions. He was 2nd place, now down to 7th. But Mime still with a very demanding lead up there. It has built up about a 2nd gap to everyone else on the server. Miquatro going low on this freewheeling will have to drive up the entire hill and suffers more speed loss. So we see things being stretched out a little bit now. Mime still on a tear. Otak and Wosil are trying to follow, but the thing about it is, like, if you're a little bit better on them... Oh, no! That's a painful crash from Otak. Small tilt on the landing, goes straight into the fence. And you can see how one mistake can ruin your chance of points here. From 3rd place down to 11th. But I was about to say how, mistakes aside, Mime's just built this lead by driving a little bit better. In each segment here, you can see he goes from 98 to 113, from 113 to 116. This is how you accrue a lead. And across a long distance, if you just drive slightly better lines, you will end up with a huge lead. So that's what Mime is doing really well up front. Now let's see if they all make this jump. Do they have the lineup? Looks awkward for an Exotica with this tilt he gets. But he does control it. Oh wow, a lot of speed. Well done to manage that turn. And now we're halfway through the race. New best lap by Evon. And Evon has actually climbed all the way up to 3rd. Wow. Edlund made a 2-second mistake early on in the race, as we saw that, and now he's up to second. It's a Polish top 2 for Mime and Evon. Dobra robota for the Polish drivers right now. Let's see if they can keep it up and hold this lead. Cap is chasing though. Very close behind. More inside approach here, and he's catching up quick. Got a lot of time saved in that segment. And then we see an Exotica about 1 second behind them again. Soldier close as well. But I think these are our contenders. This top 5 is probably the players that will battle for the highest point scores now. As I doubt they will all make mistakes in the last few laps. Exotica jumping very far there. Soldier landing earlier. Has a bit more time to set up the drift. Will get a bit more speed because of that. Catches back up. And looking at the pace here, I think we're on for around a 7:10, 7. Oh, small touch by Cap. Does he have the speed here? Good save, but he might bounce a little bit on this landing. This could be awkward for Cap. Oh, has to release as well. Surely Soldier will get a bit closer with that. These players have practiced so much to be in a certain flow. Like, you drive the map the same way every time. But if you make one mistake that sort of puts you off your rhythm, that can really ruin your next few turns. So whenever you make a mistake like that, you really have to try to stabilize. But look at this. Evon is getting closer and closer to Mime. With only 1 lap to go, he's almost shrunk the gap down to nothing. It's 0.6 right now. And Evon is really trying to reel in his countryman in the last lap here. 0.5, small ramp cut to get the boosters. Does he have the lineup here? This looks awkward to control, but he's trying his best right now. 0.3 only between the two drivers. Evon with a better approach here. Might get closer. It's going to come right down to the wire in the last lap. It's 0.48 in advantage of Mime. He's held the lead for the entire race from just out the gates in the first lap. And now, with the last lap, he has Evon breathing down his neck. Only 0.8 behind, and Mime goes straight into the house in the final lap. How much is this going to cost him? He's still second place. It only cost him a second. But Evon is also going to make a mistake, and the positions flip right back. It's the Uno reverse card, and Evon is back to second now. Oh no, and it's actually Soldier also in contention for this first place with more speed. Will overtake Evon up the hill. Mime has to be wondering what just happened. He thought he threw it, but he's still in first. Now just has to keep his nerves together in the last jump, and the 25-pointer should be his. But who will get the 22? Is it going to be Soldier or Evon right now? Soldier with a ramp cut for more speed. These small details start to matter when you have 2 turns remaining. Will Evon push this, or will he forfeit the spot? He tries with a wide line for more speed. This could be second place for Evon with a better line. Mime will win it. Evon in second. It's Polish top 2. Soldier in third. Wolfsal comes in fourth. McQuattro in fifth. Otak sixth. Exotica gets seventh. Cap in eighth. Link ninth. Headright in 10th. Revolution, then Snow, Fegley, Rossi, and Dofalt and Energize, who really didn't get it to work in this match, gets in at 15th and 16th. What a first map! Oh my! That's a crazy first round of the Challenger Division. The flip in the end there was a bit unforeseen, let's say. But you can see how the nerves stack up. You've driven for 6 laps almost without mistakes, and then that happens. So Mime there, 25 points plus 2 for the best lap in the match. You get 2 points for that. So Mime with a perfect first map right now at 27 points. And now we are going on to the second map. This is Eurosky. Also a 2018 map. This was built for the first season of Grand League. And it's now being brought back in a new form with really fresh autumn scenery. Can we take a moment to appreciate the scenery on these maps? These maps look really, really good. I love the colors and the balloons. They look pretty scenic. But yeah, let's have a look at the warm-up. The cool thing about this map is it's NASCAR based. NASCAR is a track style in the game where you drive at really high speed and you don't drift. You only release here in every turn because it's faster to keep full grip with the surface. Now, in this field, we have Rossi, who has his origins in NASCAR. In the old Trackmania game, he used to almost only play NASCAR tracks, and that's why he's one of the favorites to win this track. It's pretty suited towards what he's good at. That being said, there's also other players in this field that have very good times here on the leaderboards. I'm quickly going to have a check up on the leaderboards to see who has the best times here. And 1 second. Do this setting. So out of the players in the field, we have Mime with the strongest personal best, followed by Wosil with the second best time here, which is 7:13 for Mime and 7:16 for Wosil. But we'll see if those times are true, because some players do not show their practice times, and we don't really know. Here we go. Warm-up is concluded. Looking at the perspective of Rossi now, who didn't get off to the strongest start, but maybe he can flip it on a map that is suited towards his strengths. Here, it's all about releasing early so you can full speed the exit of the turns. That's the concept. Explained very, very simply, but you can see how close they're going to the walls here, that there are bound to be some mistakes. We do see Rossi using this to his advantage though, up to third right now. Only beaten by Wosil and Avon in the start. Now you have to set up for the slalom part between the obstacles, and then full speed towards the jump. Then we have the reactor booster part. Here you can either jump onto the middle step or go on the side and keep full grip. Those lines just about even out, but you need to keep enough speed for this next jump here and land somewhere on the platform area without losing time. And then we go down the hill into the identity section, where you drive around the holes here, left, right, before jumping and going into the next lap. That is how Eurosky is played. Mime with the best first lap, a 1:13. And he is already very far ahead here on the second map too. Avon with a shaky landing, having to adapt this line. We'll lose a little bit of ground. But the field is very close still. It's all top 12 within 2 seconds. And all it takes is just one hesitation, one bad line, one crash, and you can drop very far behind. See Hedra here navigating the field a little bit to try to climb back. And Fegli, who I have to say, I am not familiar with Fegli. This is the first time I see Fegli drive. So I think he has is a new up-and-coming player, but the fact that he's able to drive 5th in this field with such strong players is very cool to see. It's awesome for me to see new names that I'm not familiar with as well. So let's take Fegli through the lap here, see if he can handle it. Looks great with these lines. Closing in on the Quattro for 3rd on this map. Avon's there as well. We see big mistake by Rossi actually, who I did compliment for this one. 8 seconds behind for Rossi, so not gonna get a lot of points here. And Solja, who got 3rd on the first map, looks like he will not get a lot of points here, as he is 15th place right now. So that's that one mistake we talked about. But we do see Mime, Wosil, and the Quattro and Avon. They all got a lot of points on map 1, and they're still looking to get a lot of points here. So the positive trend continues for them. Let's have a look up front as Mime has built up a 1 second lead now to 2nd place of Wosil. Just on a tear through the slalom parts. No fear whatsoever by the looks of it. Mime is also one of the youngest players in the field. He's 18 or 19, I think. And has really just risen so far in the last few years in the game. We have a lot of young talents coming up, like Mime, like Gwen, Like, oh, Fegley with a no slide, like Otak. So it's a positive trend that these youngsters are coming in and driving cars fast. Looking at the field now, super stretched. Mime is still far ahead. And it looks like you can be about 4 seconds behind and still get great points with a third, fourth place. Cap here looking to do that now as he overtakes Fegley. And Snow up to fourth. Fun fact about Cap is that Cap was part of the original season of Trackmania Grand League in 2018. And he competed on this exact map back then. And ever since he's tried to get back into the Grand League, but has always sort of failed at the last hurdle, never gotten through the Challenger League to get up there again. And maybe this season will be the one for Cap, where he finally takes the step back up to the Grand League. Still hungry to be part of the top scene, which is great to see. 2 laps to go. Mime still ahead. Wosal, oh, I was about to say not too far behind. Hits the checkpoint. And that's going to put him a little bit further. We see Avon with a huge mistake here as well. 22 points to his name. Will not get a lot out of this one. Fegley with a huge crash too. An Exotica who did well in the first map. So there's a good opportunity now for players like Hedra, like Snow, to get some points here and build up their total. If you don't know how the format works, they are building up points for the last map, where they'll try to multiply them. So let's see now. Oh, Wosal with another crash, and this is worse than it looks because he will not have the speed for the jump. I think he's gonna have to get another small jump from the bubble. Oi, 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 very shaky. And that will actually be Cap and Hedra and Otak getting closer as they move into the last lap. It's about a 5-second lead for Mime here, who will get... Oh, wow. Mime is on pace for a personal best here, a 7:11 or so, which by the public leaderboards would be a second place time. So wow, great stuff here by Mime. The other players are actually driving decently, but Mime has been driving superb, no mistakes whatsoever, and that's why he's this far ahead. Curious if he can hold that. Are there any other close battles here? Maybe Energized and Hedra in this group. It's really a French onslaught, isn't it? You have Mime, then you have all the French players who are now stepping up in the next positions. I want to see here, Mime, if he can hold it. Looks all good in the slalom. Gently weaves between the barriers. Safe drifts here. He knows he has this, and that should be another 25 pointer for Mime and make that a 27 pointer because he has the fastest lap as well. So Mime, GG's to him for winning another one. Now, is there going to be any flips here? We see a close battle between Hedra and Cap for fourth. It's going to be Wosal second, Otak third, Hedra gets the fourth, Cap in fifth, Rossi climbs back to sixth, Exotica seventh, Default 8th, Avon in 9th, Fegley in 10th, Lincoln Snow coming in 11th, 12th, Energized in 13th, Soldier 14th, McQuattro will get 15th, and I do not think Revolution will finish here because he is too far behind. Oh no, it's gonna be a DNF Revolution and not getting to work on this map. We'll have to try again on the next one. See if he can bounce back. And the next map is an exciting one. It is really a map you could bounce back on. Like, if there's one you could. It's probably realistic. Let's have a look at the map here and see how it is played. This is a map with a lot of trickery. You could say it's wicked. There are wall ride flips, there are plastic bounces, there's magnets. This map is all over the place. And here it's not so much about raw pace. It's more about mastering these flips and being consistent at them. Because you see how much mistakes cost? Well, If you can drive this map without making any mistakes, you are golden. You're gonna gain a lot of time, but that, my friends, is easier said than done. So let's take a look. Mime with a perfect step so far. 54 points. And in the past, this used to be a scary situation because you could lose all your points in the final maps. In this new format though, this is like you're feeling fantastic. You're feeling great. Because like worst case, you keep your points. Best case, you could double, triple, quadruple, quintuple your points on the final map. So I bet Mime is feeling really great right now, and now he just wants to see how far he can get. Whereas the players that are closer to the bottom of the scoreboard, they're probably thinking like, you know, I gotta go all out here and get some points and try to multiply them later. I gotta get something. It's more of a all-in type of situation. But yeah, you can see the map in the warm-up here. Want to show especially this part here. Some players jump far, and some players land early and drop early here for the speed, like Nixotica did really well. Oh. Then you have the wall ride flip, and here you can see that this is also a very difficult part. You need to have the correct angle to land with a lot of speed. And this last one is in freewheeling. The engine is off here. So you just have to roll slowly into the finish before you plastic bounce. Let's take a look at this. You bounce on the plastic up to the quarter pipe above. That is also a very difficult trick to do consistently. So good luck to the players. This could either be very clean or it could be a complete fiesta. I don't really know. Want to tell you the player to look out for here is Evon. Evon has a personal best of 6:44. Which currently is the 3rd world record time. So on paper, in the field, he is the fastest player. Then you also have Mime with a 6:45. And you have Hedra with a 6:47. Who are the top 3 on paper. But we see Wosal with an early lead. 2nd place in the overalls right now. All made it. It looks like Nixotica, though, made a mistake on the first trick. So he's now 6 seconds behind. I think we're gonna stay around the tail of the field and see if we can spot any crashes should they happen. There was one in the loop there, that was Cap, who I think hit the side of the ring. So he dropped down a little bit. But now we're going in to this middle ice jump. Here you want to release or you want to go full speed. Releasing gives you more speed later on. And that looks to be what most players opt for. Now the wall ride flip, will they all make it? Oh, shaky landing for Evolution. But he does make it as well. And someone flipped too high. There was a respawn there. One mistake did happen. And that was Dofault. Dofault with the respawn in the end of the first lap. But it is Otak leading the race right now. Great lap with a 109.42. And Evon, who we gave some praise, has dropped down into 13th place. 2.5 seconds behind the others. But he does have very good lines here. I watched this replay before the start of the step, and I have no doubts he has the possibility of a comeback here. Could actually navigate the entire field and get a 22-25 pointer like he did on the first map. He has really good pace on paper. You can see here, he overtook McQuattro. Now Soldier is next on the chopping block. More speed pushes everything through that corner to overtake. And a sharper line here. Will that pay off? Looks like he has a shaky landing to deal with. Makes it work though. High flip in the wall. Great speed here. Should be able to carry this into the last flip. Oh, he goes very low. That looks more terrifying than it is. And a very sharp line here. 8th place now for Evon. As Mime has once again made his way up into 1st. But a very positive surprise here is Energize. Energize with 3 points so far in the first 2 maps has made it up to 4th place, where he is now fighting for 19 points. So this could be really, really good for Energize if he can hold this. In the last 4 laps, different approach than the others through the grass. Here is after full speed commit in both turns to keep speed for the looping. And he manages that very well to stay on par with the others. Now he has a difficult approach to deal with here into the jumps. Will release land early. Set it up sideways. Looks like he's doing just fine here. Driving pretty safe. Lines Mime goes flying off the top of the wall right, and Mime, the current leader in the match, will drop down. But how much is it going to cost him here? All the way down into 12th place with that one respawn. Probably not feeling too happy about that. But then again, 54 points already. Has sort of done the work. Now just needs to see how far he can get. And Evan with a very shaky landing. That did not look fully under control. And he just dropped some places as well. So this is not a Polish domination like the other maps were. Here we have Rossi in first place, followed by Otak and Energized. Now up to 3rd place in this race, only half a second behind Rossi. As we are done with the first 3 laps, can they hold this consistency in the last 3? It is such a difficult map to drive that we might expect some mistakes. These players make it look effortless, but when you're doing these tricks, things can go wrong. And Energized goes off the top of the quarter pipe, and he will follow in Mime's footsteps down into 9th place. That one mistake time span, about 5 seconds behind the leaders, who have yet to make any mistakes. And as I said, I predicted this, Avon back up into 3rd now. He was 12th earlier, but just with better pace in each lap, he's actually made it all the way back. Another great comeback from Avon. Now on the first map, we saw him fail in the last lap. Let's see if he can hold it together now, despite the pressure. And a very close fight here between Otak and Rossi. Otak has overtaken first from Rossi, but it's only 0.2 of a second. And here we actually saw in the last lap, Otak takes the different line. Pay attention to this. Otak goes at high speed here, tries to get the car to tilt down over the edge, and then lands late. Whereas Rossi lands much earlier and should usually have more speed. This is something you'll see later as well in the Grand League. There's 2 lines there that are competing. And I don't know which one is faster, but players are doing whichever one they prefer. Otak still in the lead, half a second as we go into the last lap. Plastic bounce goes well for both players. And it seems like it's them to fight for it. Avon is not any closer. 1 lap later, still too far to make anything happen here. So can Otak hold this lead and secure 25 points here? Rossi's chasing, but he's only losing ground little by little. 0.7 now. It was 0.2. Otak's really stepped up the pace. And it is such a gap that Otak would have to make a blunder for Rossi to catch back up. Rossi does not have the pace for this. So let's see if Otak can hold. He goes very close to the barrier. Is once again going to set up for this high-speed line across the ice. Get the car to tilt down over the edge and land on the dirt. And then now the wall ride flip. The last one. You've done 5. Can you get the 6th? For the double hat trick. Looks good here for Otak. Lands early, lands on the wall magnet. And that will be Otak winning this map ahead of Rossi in 2nd. Avon gets 3rd. Wosal gets 4th. Soja will come in 5th. Snow in 6th. We have Lincoln 7th. Energized 8th. We have Mime in 9th as Fegley makes a respawn in the last wall. McQuattro clips here, and he has to respawn as well. No one else has finished. It's Cap in 10th. Revolution in 12th. McQuattro 13th. Hydro 14th. Nixotica in 15th, who made that early mistake. And Dolfault here will have a DNF. No points to him. So wow, 6:47 winning time. We saw the world record right now, a 6:44 by Mura. So a great race by the top players there, Otak and Rossi, with very clean racing. And Evon, despite his early mistake, did play that map really well. Now we're going on to the 4th map. This one is not as wicked. There's not as many tricks, but it's very exciting to watch. This map is like raw pace. Here, it's all about how much do you want to risk? How close do you want to go to the corners? How close to the edge of the track do you want to drive? The map is called On the Edge, and you're going to see players drive on the edge quite literally. The identity, the obstacle section here, you can see it. you have to go in these tight gaps 3 times per lap. That is 18 times in a single race without fail. And here's the best part. The more speed you keep there, the better. So you can really choose how much you want to risk. So yeah, I bet that if you felt the pressure on the previous maps, you're feeling it here. One thing we do see though, Otak now in the lead in the standings. With that win, he's at 62. Mime's got 61, Wosal with 60. A very close fight for the top 3. Then you have Evon with 47, Rossi 41 for the top 5. Players that we haven't seen too much of yet, Revolution, Fegli, and Default, have all had some pretty rough maps. And we hope to see them bounce back now. But yeah, let's take you guys through On the Edge in the warm-up. Pretty important dirt gear to keep right here. And then they reduce airtime with this line. Now across the grass there's a no-slide technique, but the main part is coming up right here. This is the identity, the obstacle part. You have to take a wide line, do a little drift tap, and then just full speed commit past all the pillars. 6 times in a row. 6 laps in a row. That is the obstacle section. And it is as difficult as it looks. Because, yeah, you cannot be far off here. And you will crash. Either by clipping the circle or by hitting the pillars on the side, so... It's difficult, but we are watching the 16, or the top 32 players in the world. This is the second division, the Challenger division. So let's see how they handle it after a lot of practice. Here we go into the 4th map. Revolution now in the lead temporarily. As they jump into the drift here. Love this upcoming turn, the hairpin. You set up into a jump, and then you can take the exit you desire. How much speed you want to keep. All players making it through here, no mistakes. Before the first whole drift, everybody makes it. And now the reactor part. Really just the calm before the storm though. We're waiting for that identity part to shake up the field. Fegli with a small touch. Will drop down behind everyone else. And here we go. From the perspective of the current leader, Otak. How many players will survive? There's 2 respawns already. Revolution with a mistake. Otak with a pole crash. Will he make it? Has to take the safe option here on the dirt on the side. And the first identity section already claimed 5 players. That is how difficult it is. 5 mistakes already in the first lap. On to the second one we go. We have Miquatro from Finland in first place right now. And Wosil, who is second, has probably seen this mistake by Otak happen and knows that he now has a very realistic chance at leading the match going into the last map. If he can hold this together. Same goes for Mime, who's had a great match altogether. You just have to stay consistent and try to avoid the mistakes. Rossi with a 10-second mistake. That hurts to see. Will probably not get a lot of points out of this one. But the battle in the front ensues. Second time around on the identity. Let's put the camera a bit back here and see how it goes for Soldier. First drift, he sets it up. Header with very low speed. Avon and Wosal, very low speed as well. They have made some mistakes. And look at this from Soldier. 4 positions gained in those 3 decisive turns. Kept a lot of speed there, and it pays off. He joins Miquatro and Mime now for the top battle. And we see the field stretch out even more. As now, Wosil has made a huge mistake. 5 seconds behind. And suddenly that one touch from Otak isn't looking too bad. Because look at this, he can catch Energize, he can catch Link, he can catch Nixotica. And he can still get up to the top positions if he drives better lines. Tries to push through the drifts here, but there's not a lot to gain at this level against the other great players. You really just have to wait for your opportunity at the identity to attack. Looks like he's making some ground here though. Getting a little bit closer to Nixotica. But Link still holds strong there. And once again, prayers out for the players that you're cheering for into the third identity. Will they survive this time? Otak with a great drift, with great speed. Exotica has clipped the corner and lost significant time. And suddenly that puts Otak up into fourth now. 2.2 seconds behind, still keeping steady with the leaders. We see Avon dropping really far down here. Oh no, a double respawn. Plus 15. So he's not going to be able to get a lot more points before the final map. Unfortunate for him. Vosal also keeping the same distance. But McQuattro strong in first. Has held this steady for the first half of the map. Mime though, tracing. He is a little bit faster, I've noticed. He is gaining a little bit per turn on average. So there could be an overtake happening here soon. Jumps a little bit far here, and McQuattro will be able to keep the lead. But if he slips just once on the identity, Mime will capitalize and run away with another 25-pointer. Mime is the one to clip here, though. And McQuattro is going to soar into the sunset together with Soldier with a huge lead now, as many players have made at least one mistake. It is only Soldier and McQuattro that are still clean without a single scratch on the car. So no danger for McQuattro yet. So Soldier is the next to contest. McQuattro still looking really solid here. 25 points would do well for him. As we see full collapse for Evan, as we talked about. Rossi, one of the other huge point leaders, far down. But great opportunity here for players like Revolution, like Energized, to get a little bit closer here. As we are getting into the tail end of the lap now, I think we're going to turn our attention upwards. Mime and Energized are fighting for this third place, just behind Soldier and McQuattro. Good, no slide from Mime to hold third. Wide setup before the turn, but is he too late? No, he has it perfectly figured out. Hesitates a little bit. This could get awkward. Oh, he holds strong. And the last lap then, Soldier had to take the safe option. He lost about a second. Still should be just fine for now. Out of reach from the others if he drives a solid last lap. And McQuattro is on for a really good run here. No mistakes whatsoever by the Finnish player. Then we see Exotica and Otak 1 second behind them again. Close as well. Here we go then. Is it going to be McQuattro to get his first win of the season? 25 points. Just needs to get that last identity. You've done it 15 times. Now can he get the last 3 turns? Soldier is actually getting reeled in here as well for second place. Mime is very close. I doubt he will try, but if Soldier slips, Mime will secure it. No, it is going to be McQuattro winning. Soldier in second, Mime third. And then Otak fourth, Exotica fifth, Hedra sixth, and Energize dropped all the way to 7th in the final identity. You had Link 9th, Revolution 10th, Cap, Rossi, Snow, Default. Avon will get overtaken in the final stretch for a 16th. Fagley with 15th. 7:03 there from McQuattro, the world record, a 6:59 by Carl Jr. So something to look out for coming later tonight. Carl Jr. and all the other Grand League players are going to fight on the same maps. But let's take stock of the standings here before we go on to the final map, Pull Party, because this is where this format gets very exciting. I'll try to explain it as best as I can. It's a brand new format, but I think it's going to be cool to see how it plays. So have a look at the scores right now. There will be 8 rounds played. And if you win a round, if you win one of the first 4 rounds, you could double your points. So Otak could end up with 166 points if he wins one round. But if he waits until the 5th round, he could triple his points. If he waits until the 7th round, he could quadruple. And if he waits until the 8th and final round, he could 5 times his points. So 8 players will walk away here with a multiplied point score, and 8 players will not get anything at all. So either you keep the points you have, or you multiply them. The question is, how long do you dare to wait? Because I think there will be players that think, man, I don't want a 2x multiplier, I want 3x or 4x. But then you have to risk it and say, okay, I'm intentionally not going to win the first few rounds and see if I can snipe one of the last ones. But if you do that and you fail, well, then you get nothing at all. Here's a risk-reward balance to see how many points you want to get. And this is a very difficult map to drive. So we'll see how it plays out. It's brand new, but I think it's going to be very exciting. I can especially see Mime, who I want to tell you got a new world record here just 1 hour ago. I think Mime especially is a player we'll see wait it out and try to win one of the last ones. But yeah, Mime is a player to look out for here. And also you can see the obstacle section here. The identity is Pole Party, where you drive in poles. Final map of the Challenger Division, here we go. Only one player will win, all the others will lose. So if you want to win here, you have to go all out. There's no point in getting second place. So we'll see, all the players have started driving. Evon with a DNF actually, never mind. So Evon saying, yeah, I don't want a 2x multiplier. I'm waiting. Evon with the first DNF of the format, interesting. Energize crashing, he's out of the fight. Probably just gonna practice for now. But we see Mime hopping up into first place. And then we're going into the first obstacle section here. Everybody weaving. But what we might see happen is that the players will intentionally hit the retire button before the finish line. Like, we could have a situation where Mime is leading, but then because he doesn't want the 2x, he will just DNF right before finishing. We could have a massive debate. There's nothing in the rules that says you cannot do this, just so you know. So just keep in mind we might get heavily baited. But Mime is leading right now. Otak has also DNF'd, will not win this one. As we go into the second pole section. Is there any... Whoa! Mime crashing and DNFing instantly. Or respawning, rather. It is Soldier and Snow leading into the second lap. 1 lap to go. If you want to double your points, now's the chance. I think we could see Soldier go for this. 62 points, 124 if you double. I'd be very happy with 124 points, but he hits the wall. And that small mistake loses him 7 spots. In the ranking 6, actually. It is Snow leading right now. As he goes into the pole section. Left, right. Duck, weave, and... Oh, Hedra off the edge. Snow still in the lead. Wosal. This 2x would be huge. A 3x would be even better, but 75 points is not something you want to gamble with, I think. Wosal is looking for this one. Into the last dirt corner now. 0.14 is the difference. He does make it a lot closer with a better line. Now the final uphill drift. Before the last pole section, does he have more speed here to snipe Snow? Or will Snow win the first round? Going in between the pillars, Snow is clean. Snow will take it. Snow gets 2x multiplier and exits the match with 50 points. And the winning time here, 238.2, is solid. The world record, 236.8 by Mime. So now, Snow is done. 50 points, that's his step done. There are now 7 multipliers left to get. So Snow is now done. He can sit back, relax, see how the others will play. And we already saw an early mistake there. But by the looks of it, I think I think most players were hungry. Oh, that's a big mistake by... was it Soldier? I wonder. No, it was not Soldier. It was Revolution. It looks like there's not a lot of players that are just intentionally waiting in the start. We see some mistakes. Otak making a mistake here. Will drop down. And now Mime, the current world record holder, is looking very strong. He's going for it, but he crashes. And that will not be his round. Avon now up to first, who did DNF the first round. Still decides to play the second one, although it's the same multiplier. So, might fancy it after all. Could also just be, oh, a mistake by Avon, straight into the pillar. And he will not win this one. With a mistake like that, it is now energized and McQuattro. First lap is a new best lap, a 1:21 by energized. 0.4. But McQuattro with a better drift setup to get him the first place into the next round. I think they're all gonna want this 2 times multiplier, as if you don't get a multiplier, if you're not one of the first 8 to finish, you get nothing. So we see McQuattro now going for this one. Good speed out of that drift. Can he get in between the pillars? Oh my god. What a line by McQuattro. That was masterfully executed. Almost looked like he was too wide, but he makes it work regardless. Now a great dirt line by Dofal to gain a few hundredths, but the speed he has here should reel him a little bit closer to McQuattro over the straight. McQuattro still so strong here. 0.3 ahead. This is a demanding lead. McQuattro could close this out now for the second spot. Secured. He goes but in between the pillars in the last drift now with a lot of speed. This should be McQuattro's if he wants it. He could take it. Does he grab it? McQuattro takes it. 2 times multiplier. And he will land at 92 points there, McQuattro. Out of the step. So he's the current leader right now. McQuattro is currently leading the match. But we'll see if Otak, Mime, and Wosal, to name a few, could grab a multiplier of their own. It all depends. For all we know, they could not get anything here. Mime's been fast, but he's made some mistakes. The failures he's had has not been on purpose. So he has looked a bit shaky. Otak as well. Crashing in the pillars. But the thing about this format is you're driving for 2 minutes. And in those 2 minutes, you have to beat everyone else. You have to beat the other top 16 players in this division. That's not easy. Mime, though. Beautiful weaving between the pillars. Very inside approach for the dirt. Oh, big mistake by Cap, who instantly hits the retire button. And that puts him out of the fight. We see the 2 current point leaders in the lead, but not for long. Mime, another mistake. It is now Otak up to first. With Rossi chasing Dofalt. Clips the corner. He's out of the fight. Oh, and Rossi clips as well. It is a mistake fiesta right now, and Otak has a huge lead right now. To try to get this 2 times multiplier. Will he have time to set up for the very precise lines between the pillars? He does. What's this first lap going to be? 1:21.22. They're going even faster this round than the previous. Wide setup into the drift. Is he too wide? No, not quite. Just barely tethering on the edge. For Otak, the 16-year-old player who surprised us all in World Cup when he did really well through the qualifiers. Almost made it to the playoffs. Now in the Challenger Division, could start off with a massive 160 points, but he clips, and Soldier will run away with first for now. Otak instantly hits the retire button, does not fancy it, and will miss one more opportunity. It is Soldier versus Avon now, both with a lot of points they could multiply. I think they both won it now, seeing how the other rounds are shaken up, and now you sit in a position to take a bonus. You might as well. Will Soldier push this one in the last slalom part? Avon getting ever closer. He's gotten the nickname the Polish Sniper out of the World Cup, where he won in situations like these. 1 or 2 car lengths behind with a better ending every single time. This time though, Soldier makes a mistake and Avon will close it out. Not quite a snipe, but capitalizing on the opportunity he was given. Avon goes through with 96 points and he's the current leader. Bit of a choke there from Soldier in the most decisive part. In the most decisive part, he hits the pillar. Oh, wow. Alright. Last 2 times multiplier here. Before it gets really, really intense. Another chance for Mime. Another chance for Otak, who's 7 seconds behind in the first 20 seconds. Is this on purpose, or is there some nerves coming through right now? I'm not sure if Otak is waiting here. I really can't tell. But he has not used these opportunities. Mime, very demanding lead. What we've seen from Mime is that he pushes too much. He's like going for world record attempts almost in live matches here. And this is fast. This is very fast. Like this might be a 120 something first lap, because the others are not even close. We'll see how he holds up. Oh, goes very high, almost lifts off. Link is close, but Mime's still really far ahead. What's this lap time going to be, Mime? Oh dear, 120.9. Yeah, Mime is on an absolute bomb of a run here. If he can control it in the second lap. About half a second faster than the winning times from the previous rounds. Link with an awkward dirt gear. Mime will snowball even further ahead here. Hydra is the closest, but he's over half a second behind. This could be Mime's ticket out of this match with 160 points if he closes this out now. And considering there will only be 4 more spots after this, I would take this if it were me, but I don't know what is going through Mime's head right now. He knows he has this lead. It is only Hedra that can realistically contest this. Does he fancy it? Will he take it? To go out, 160 is a great start to the season. You have to imagine that Mime wants this. Last few corners though. Let's make sure that we don't pull a Soldier, that we keep the car in between the poles for one more turn. Mime on the victory march here. Last section. And he will not make it! Mime DNFs! Whether on purpose or not, Mime crashes the last corner. It is Haedra who doubles his points for 84 total. Did we get baited or was that a choke? I'm not sure. I think he did that on purpose. I have to imagine. We'll see how he holds up here, if it was on purpose. I think what it could be is that he also just wanted to show dominance. He just wanted to, you know, show the others like, yeah, I'm here. I can drive this pace, but I'm gonna beat you all when there's a 3 times multiplier. You know what I mean? The Giga Chad strategy here from Mime to just show how cool he is and then retire. But yeah, no, 3 times multiplier now. So if Mime wins this one, to take an example, he will leave the step with 240 points. And this is where it gets really insane. Because if you get the 5 times multiplier, the last multiplier, you could perhaps realistically leave the step with like 400, 500 points. And that's like more than others can get in an entire season. So if you get like a good step and a good multiplier, whew, that is powerful. So Mime here, already a 3 times multiplier will do great things for his overall. And he is once again in the lead. Mime, the world record holder. 4 DNFs coming through already. We see Link, the closest contender. Otak is in the battle too. Link with a huge mistake, and now interesting situation on our hands because it is the top 2 in the lead, but Mime makes a mistake, and this is like the red carpet for Otak, who's failed the first few rounds, but now 83 points that he could triple. And Rossi is the closest, 0.4 behind. Rossi with a mistake. Never mind. Otak now half a second lead down to Default, Nixotica, and Wosal. And Otak, this is a lot of pressure on a 16-year-old guy's shoulders. But can he handle it here to secure these points? It would be huge for Otak. Let's follow his point of view now. With just half a lap remaining. Could be a massive start to the season for Otak. There is no one even close. You cannot gain this time back unless Otak makes a mistake here. He has all these lines practiced for weeks before the match. Just needs to secure it now. Through that final pole section. Does get a bit of an awkward gear there, but it's still 1 second down. This should be Otak's chance to multiply, but let's not take anything for certain yet. Needs to get through, needs to get into the finish, but he does it. Otak triples. And that puts him, if my calculations aren't wrong, at 249 points. Which is pretty massive when you are just starting the season. Otak in clear first. No doubt about it. Insane. Alright, another 3 times multiplier here. Only 11 players left. 8 players will get nothing at all here. So, we'll have to see who gets the final 3 spots in the bonus. Especially these first turns. Did Mime just make a mistake? Oh no. Dangerous spot here for Mime. Because he's not in contention. There will only be 2 rounds after this. As we've seen Rossi and, was it, Energize making huge mistakes, so they are not going to be in contention either. Very close fight here, though. Look at this. Link, Cap, Default, put Soldier in there, a little bit of Nixotica. This is anyone's game. Link, though, makes the first trip up out of these players. Cap in the lead now. 40 points could suddenly be 120 here. If he holds strong. This is where it gets really decisive. These rounds is where if you can clutch in the final few, you could suddenly win the step despite not having the best time beforehand. Oh, big mistake by Soldier. Another attempt down the drain for him. As the gaps widen, it is Cap. 121.3 first lap. Decent pace up front. Nixotica very wide here. Will have to save his line, and that puts him further and further behind. This looks to be a battle between France and Belgium, between Cap and Default for this multiplier. Even Default here with 18 points could get a huge paycheck if he wins. Has to get this difference somewhere though. And Cap is not letting anything slip. Great slalom by him. 0.67 now. And will this be the chance for Oplon Cap, who used to be in the Grand League? If he wins the Challenger Division, this could be his ticket back to the main stage. Looks poised to take it right now. 1 second down to all the others. I think Cap has this under control. Good gear. Good drift up the hill here. Nothing risky right now. Just needs to save it in the last slalom. Holding my breath a little bit here, but there it goes. Cap takes the 5th ticket and gets 120 points in this step. GG's. And a bit sour for Mime there, because Mime made a 1.5 second mistake. And then he was 1.1 behind in the finish. So if Mime didn't crash the start, he could have had 240 points as well. But now, it gets crazy. 4 times multiplier. If we think about Mime's case here, we're talking 320 points if Mime wins this one. 320 in a single step. Rossi has the potential for a similar step should he win this. Soldier as well. The scores can get crazy. Absolutely wild. And just thinking about it, right? We have Mime, Soldier, and Rossi with a lot of points. But there's only 2 spots left. So one of these players will not get any multiplier. One of the top players in the first part of the step. Mime, though, in the lead, into the dirt. We've seen him crash here in the exit, trying to go for too much speed. We've seen him crash here, trying to go for too much speed. Right now, it looks a little more refined, a little bit safer, while still incredibly close to the limit on the map. And Revolution, who we have not seen much from the entire match, is suddenly in contention for the win here. What an upset it would be if Revolution, with 10 points, manages to snipe him. Never mind. He does not get it there. Could be a good story, but that's for another time. Link and Mime for the top 2 fight now to see who will get this one. Link has sort of been overshadowed by Mime on this map. Always around 2nd, 3rd, it seems. But also making these mistakes. And now, though, closer than ever to finishing out. Just needs to beat Mime by 0.3 in the final lap here to get out of there. Mime still strong, still no mistakes. Will Mime get the 4 times multiplier for over 300 points? That would be so huge here for Mime. Still in the lead with only a few turns to go. A lot of pressure here. There's only one more option after this one. So about time you get the hell out of there. A few more turns to go for Mime. The difference is still 0.2. Down to Link. Is Link getting any closer? Better line here by Link. Will have more speed. 0.21. As they go up the hill, will Mime keep the grip? He does. Now one more drift. And the pole section. Wide setup for Mime. Can he secure this one? For the 4 times multiplier, Mime will get it. Oh my god. That is a huge score line for Mime. He had the chance earlier at 2 times. He retires. And guess what? He's back for the 4 times multiplier. 324 points. Insane. Absolutely insane for Mime. That is probably already securing him top 8 in the entire season. Because, like, what a scoreline that is. The final spot. 5 times multiplier. Mime is out of the fight now. One of the fastest players. So is Evon. There is this chance here if you're not one of the fastest. But it's also do or die now for Soldier and for Rossi. 2 players with 70 and 60 points that have not yet secured a ticket. This is when you have to do it. Rossi almost off the edge. That could have been the run for him. He saves it in the last second to stay alive. 0.3 behind the leaders. As we're now getting into a bit of a last 10 section. We're just waiting for the next pole section. 2 DNFs already. Fagley and Revolution will not get any multipliers at all. But the others are still in the fight. And what a race it is. Everyone is close together at the end of the first lap here. Dolfalt barely in the lead ahead of his Belgian teammate who goes flying. Soldier is off the track and he will not get any multiplier out of this one. Soldier will end with 62 points as he flies off there. Still a good step, but no 5 times multiplier there. So Rossi, the last big point holder remaining here, chasing 0.4 to go. And that's a very hard gap to close against these players. Dolfalt and Link are looking the most poised to take it. Would also be huge for Rossi here. With 44 points total, but he gears down in the uphill. And he's going to lose significant time to the top 2. It's Link and Dolfalt who will fight it out for this 5 times multiplier. Into the grass turn now. The small details will start to matter. Who can inch out an advantage? Who can get the most speed here? Link with a great turn will propel himself ahead. And this is going to snowball all the way until the next drift. Link will have a 0.2 lead going into the last drift here. This could be Link's round. He's been so close the entire time, always just behind Mime. Now Mime is no longer to be seen, and Link is in first in the last round. Will he secure it here? Between the pillars, one drift to go, and then the full speed last part. Clutches have to come out here. Can Link hold it? Link will get the 5 times multiplier, the last spot, and very sour for Wirtual here, who was half a second away from getting an absolutely ridiculous scoreline. But Link gets 116 points from that to put himself third. And these are the standings when the step is complete. We have Mime in first with 324, Otak second, Link third, Cap fourth, Avon in 5th, McQuattro 6th, Hedra 7th, and Wirtual in 8th. And then we have Soldier and Exotica, Snow, Rossi, Energized, Dilfalt, Pegly, and Revolution. Wow, okay, I gotta catch my breath. What an exciting step that was. Insane. Keep in mind though, this was only the Challenger division. This was the second division effectively. The first division is played in about 1 hour. That is when the top players play. So we have about 1 hour to kill now. And I was thinking we could play Cup of the Day to just chill in between the punches, as we say. If you guys want to do that, we could just hop on Cup of the Day and then play that for about an hour, a little bit less. I might have to just leave the server if we go live. But yes, I think we're gonna do that for now.